You're watching the Noble Farms YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and support the channel. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Jerry here, Noble Farms. We've been on a road trip for the last few days and driving from Alberta all the way back to Newfoundland. We had to deliver a truck to Newfoundland for a family member. So we're here in Newfoundland. And we're actually a little bit excited. We actually got to meet up with a friend of ours, actually a family member. So we got to come into her farm. She's a first-time generation farmer, just like myself, that started out in farming business. This tough world that we're in right now. So called her up and see if we could stop by her place and check out some of her animals and just get a little talk going about the similarities and stuff about farming in Alberta versus farming here in Newfoundland. So over here, this is Gina's farm here. She has a new barn they just built. So yeah, Gina, what some of the things that I know it's tough here trying to get started, so it's not easy. I've done it myself, tried and in the past, and it's been difficult to say the least, but you know, I know it's been always a dream of yours. So explain some of the stuff that you've witnessed here and some of the things you're trying to do and want it to move forward in. So
back in 2022, we decided we were going to get 4 chickens in the backyard. And it escalated very fast. We ended up with 2 goats in the backyard, and then it multiplied. Goat math don't add up.
No, they definitely don't.
Then we escalated to a lot more animals very fast, and the town actually wouldn't allow us to have it. The bylaws, we weren't allowed to have farm animals. So we moved to a Crown land lease, and from there on, it took a long time. It took us 2 years to get the land that we do have. So we have 12 acres here, and right now we have 4 fully developed. And this year we are going to set some vegetables in that. We were going to do all hay crop at first, but we're going to see where the farming vegetables go. And yeah, so we started off, it was always a dream. And the worst part about Newfoundland and farming is the land. In Alberta,
so this was all government land?
Yes. This was all owned by Crown land. So we had to cut all the trees off. We had to grub it. Yeah, so we had to get a harvester in and all that stuff.
So what was the obstacles with trying to develop that connection with the government to get that lease? Was like lots of paperwork involved, lots of meetings, emails?
It was a lot of paperwork, a lot of fighting, actually. It didn't come easy. It took us to politics. We fought really hard to get what we have, and we're very thankful for it. But I think the government needs to open up more land to the farmers who want to farm. I feel like there's a lot of land here that has potential, but we can't get it.
Yeah, so that's a big obstacle because you do need quite a bit of land.
We're at 12 acres right now, and obviously we're going to need more. I mean, the bigger we go, the more land we're going to need. So that is going to take a lot of time, and it's a slow process. It's a very slow
100%.
process, yeah.
So what do you got here for animals then?
So right now we have Nigerian dwarf goats. They are my milkers, I will say. I do milk them, and I do make soap from them, and we sell the soap.
So homemade soap.
Homemade soap, yeah.
From the
Nigerian
goat milk.
dwarf, yeah. Yeah.
Lovely.
And we do keep colostrum and milk just in case an animal, we might have a mom that rejects, so we can bottle feed, and we don't have to buy any replacer.
So
and
as we're talking here, these two little things here are running around our feet. So
here's one little girl. That's Pixie. And I'll grab the other one. And this is Piper. Pixie and Piper, and they're twin girls.
They were born when?
About 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. And
so they're cute little things.
We don't do meat right now, but in the future we will be set up to do boar goats actually, and see where the meat market goes. And that's the worst thing about Newfoundland is the market. We're not really sure where the market is going to go with the sheep right now. I'm actually in a small town here on the Bayvert Peninsula, and there's nobody here farming, only me. So we're gonna see where this goes. So we're not too deep into it yet because I want to make sure that this is gonna be a market before I go too far, too far in depth.
Absolutely.
So right now we have 12 sheep here. 11 are ewes and 1 ram. So we're breeding them this year, see how that goes, see where the market goes. And if the market is good, we will expand in the sheep. But selling the Nigerian dwarf kids on the hoof is you're never stuck with them.
No,
it's
for sure.
It's a high demand, yeah.
Everyone wants the pets,
goats.
right? And how can you not? Like, come on.
They are really good for a homestead goat. That's why we start with them for the milk, because they do produce a lot of milk and they eat less hay. Yeah. So they are economic friendly.
They are beautiful, beautiful animals.
Yeah.
So yeah, similar to some of the stuff that we're actually doing in Alberta. Did the same thing and haven't ran into the issues of land because we purchased an older farm. We didn't have to deal with lease land. Now, we did speak about it because bordering our land in Alberta, there is a lease quarter that we may end up leasing later down the road. But for now, we're just going to stay out of that politics stuff and stick with our own land. But yeah, it is tough to say the least. The difference, I guess in Alberta, we got more of an opportunity, more of availability for feed, for when it comes to feed for the sheep and goats and pigs and stuff. And you have pigs here too as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And a horse, I do believe.
I do.
I see in some videos. So yeah, it's a little bit of a start, and it is tight and tough with budgets and stuff, trying to manage a budget to run this little tiny thing. Yeah. But you know, like I said in previous videos, you got to have a dream. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a dream and you don't have the mindset to be able to get up every morning, and it's these animals that make you get up in the morning. It's
not the money that make you rich.
No, it's not. No, it's the lifestyle. So many people say that, and I'm a firm believer that is exactly, that's really true. So, and behind all this this work, as you're looking around at the building and that, obviously, you know, Gina's not doing it all herself. So, we got another guy to introduce here. This is Gina's husband, Dylan. Dylan, come over, say hello. This is
camera shy.
We're gonna squeeze him in here. Hopefully you can see him, because the camera's following me around. No, it's right. So this is Dylan. It's Gina's husband. So he's the builder, I guess, of all of this. So thanks to Dylan. Without Dylan,
Yeah.
you'd be in trouble.
I
wouldn't
would
you?
be in
You'd
trouble.
be in trouble.
I hate to admit
So-
that, but I can't do everything
No one
myself.
wants to say it to their face, but it's nice once in a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's some obstacles that you run into. No odds where you are, whether you're in Alberta, you're in
Yeah.
Saskatchewan, Manitoba, or the U.S. It doesn't make a difference. There's obstacles you're going to run into wherever you go. So is being able to keep that in mind and knowing that during the process and being able to keep that mindset going, the positive side of it. So it is therapy, 100%. That's what it is. It's getting up in the morning, seeing those little tiny kids walking around, those little lambs, those little piglets. It's crazy how much it do help a person. So
I do.
yeah, it is a lot of work into all this stuff, but hang in there and keep your head down and go. It
Yeah.
definitely helps out the mind and the soul. So
Yeah, for sure. And my biggest advice is to be resilient to everything.
yeah, 100%.
Be resilient. Fight back stronger.
Yeah, that's
if
right.
someone believes you can't do it, do it and
Keep
prove
doing
them
it.
wrong.
That's
Yeah.
right. Prove them wrong. And
That's
true.
what we've been doing.
Whoever thought that I'd be.
If you can't prove them wrong, don't tell them the difference.
Don't tell them that. Yeah, there you go. And I guess there's lots of that being done too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I've ran into the same stuff too as
Yeah.
well. Like I know exactly where you're coming from. It's true words.
Yeah.
I'm in Alberta, surrounded by a lot of big producers, big beef producers, sheep producers, and so on. And with zero experience.
Same here.
Same here.
Same here.
But you know, you learn from other people. You don't take no for an answer. And whoever thought that I would be, if you asked me 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, that I'd be farming, no, I would
No.
probably say no. I came from Newfoundland, the same like Gina, and here, this is home. This is
Yeah.
where I grew up and stuff. So come back here every once in a while to visit family and stuff, but I enjoy Alberta to the fullest. I love it there. I don't think I'd move back to Newfoundland unless I absolutely had no other choice. Well, that's out of my control, but I truly do love Alberta, and the area is great. People are great. The land, farmland,
Yeah.
endless. Beautiful, beautiful areas.
Yeah.
And opportunities are endless if you just want to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
And this is a reason to get up in the morning.
It
And I'm
is.
sure
Oh, yeah.
you guys
It
can
is.
say that.
You had a reason not to sleep at night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely throw that into the mix for sure.
We always thought about moving to start a farm, but a piece of me can't leave home. So I am trying my best to make it work here in Newfoundland. But like Jerry said, there is a lot of obstacles. Grain being one of them.
Yeah.
There's no bulk grain bin sites here. And
No bulk grain in Newfoundland.
no bulk grain in Newfoundland, so we had to get it shipped from Nova Scotia. So then the shipping cost is fairly high. And same thing with hay. Like we have to travel 2 hours for hay, so that's why we're trying to get more land for production of hay to cut our costs down. And this year we actually raised hogs, and our price of hogs of raising was $5.05 a pound.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just our raising cost of the hogs.
Yeah, it's tough.
Butcher fee and all the grain fees included in that. So, I mean, it is tough in Newfoundland.
It is. It's-
But people will pay the price because it's fresh. It's what they want. It's what they're used to back in the older days. And
Yeah,
it's
it
not
definitely
available
is.
here. So they will pay the price to have fresh. And they do appreciate what we're doing. So we do have a lot of support. We do. And I'm confident that it will work. It's just a matter of getting the resources we need to make it work.
And it takes time.
And it takes time.
A
It
lot of
takes a
time.
lot of time. You have to be patient. Very patient.
I've been almost 7 years
Yeah.
getting what I have up there. And
Yeah.
This is our second year on this property.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
look around. You guys did a
Exactly.
great job. You come a long, long ways,
A long way.
right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
It
no.
doesn't.
As much as you want it to,
Yeah.
and as big as I want to go fast, but it's just not happening.
No.
It takes time. We had to cut all the trees off the land. We sawed all the lumber for this barn actually by ourselves.
Yeah, we did the same thing at our place
Yeah,
too, right?
trying to cut costs.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
exactly right. And you'd start crunching numbers, you
Yeah.
get
It
your
just
pen and
makes sense.
paper out. Yeah,
Solid.
absolutely it does.
Yeah.
And look at the lumber,
Yeah.
right? It's great material.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's usable. Even like I use all my slabs for my my first cuts. I'll use all that for fencing,
Yeah.
Yep.
especially around the corrals and stuff, because I have a bunch of corrals because I have cows and stuff. So I have handling system, crowding tubs and pens. So it's, all of that stuff is usable. I don't burn my first cut slabs for firewood. It goes into fencing,
Goes
right?
in fencing, yeah.
What can go in fencing?
Yeah.
So and it's not cheap, and I'm sure fencing isn't cheap here either.
No, fencing is. I don't know how to put a price on it because
Yeah.
you gotta get most of it brought in from Nova Scotia,
Yeah,
and that's the biggest reason we don't have any right now.
And this is why we don't have metal panels for our
Cheaper to make
That's right.
it out of wood.
farm here. Yeah.
and I haven't been at this long, but I do prefer the wood over the metal.
Yeah.
Me personally, it's easy to work with. When
Yeah.
it breaks, you can fix it.
Yes.
You got metal, then you got to work with that. So it's to me, it's a better bang for the buck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. That's the thing. It's keeping this stuff simple. If it's not simple, it's getting too complicated,
It is.
right?
Yep.
Yes.
And complicated with farming is not going to work.
No, especially if you don't have the background,
No.
right? Like your first time generation farmers. It's not going to be easy.
Well, we never raised an animal besides a dog.
Exactly.
We got goats and sheep.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to feed them first.
We started
Well-
off with goats, and I'm thankful for that because the goats did give us some knowledge for the sheep, for kidding wise,
that's
and
right.
lambing wise,
Knowing
right?
what to expect.
And knowing what to expect, and
Yeah, for
all
sure.
the obstacles you do if you have to pull. And so I am thankful that I started off with goats because it did give me. They're smaller to handle, these Nigerian dwarfs.
Mhm.
So then I was prepared for the sheep, but. A part of me wishes I did start with sheep first because they're easier to handle than goats.
Yeah, that's right. They're not as wild.
And
They're
we
not
always
as
had
well-
goats.
No, and I did a lot of research too when it come to knowing what animals to get that I wanted to raise. We wanted cows.
Yeah.
Truly wanted to get cows, but cows were so big, hard to handle for us. We never ever raised cows, so we didn't know, and they were intimidating
Yes.
because they're
Yes.
big and hard to handle,
Yes.
right? And they literally a cow could kill you. There's lots of farmers out there that do get injured pretty bad by a cow, so that's why we didn't go with cows. We do have some, but just at a small scale. We only got 6 or 7 there now, so the most we'll ever have is probably 8 or 10 or 12 or something.
That's
But
our
that's
goal.
about it.
That's our goal. We'd like to have at least 10 cows.
Yeah.
And
Just raising steers,
Just-
not breeding them because
That's right.
it's not worth it around here.
it's
No.
not feasible. The hay.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
if we did have the land, it would be fine. But buying in the hay is really not feasible.
And you can literally feed 10 sheep on what the food is for one cow.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we run into the same thing too. We're looking at all that. You're always writing down numbers and checking things out, trying to see how you can get away with it.
Yeah.
And to get back to what Dylan said, Dylan was talking about big obstacle was learning what to feed,
Yes.
Yeah.
knowing what to feed. And truly
Finally,
that,
just dialed in our hay after the last 2 years of struggling to find
yeah,
good quality forage.
I know. And if I had to go back and say one thing that was the biggest hurdle, that would be my biggest hurdle, was knowing what to feed, when to feed, how to feed.
And you
Yes.
talk to every farmer, they got a different feed that they'll feed.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
So nobody does the same.
Nope.
What works for you might not work for me.
Is knowing your animals is a big thing. Knowing the condition,
Absolutely.
keeping those conditions up,
Yeah.
right? Keeping that feed quality. You got to have quality for sheep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't have quality, you're going to
And
end
the
up
same
trouble.
goes with goats. Like some of the stuff we fed our goats, they were losing weight eating it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before I even went to Alberta, when I had a few animals here in Newfoundland similar to this, I had the same problem. I actually went to the barn one morning and I had a ewe that was naked, lost every bit of its wool. And when it lost its wool, it was just skin and bones. It looked great looking
the
at
wool.
wool,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's deceiving sometimes. So it's being on top of things, watching for things, finding out little things, doing a little bit of research.
That is absolutely correct. And here where we are, we're actually 2 hours away from a vet. So we need to know as much as we can.
Yeah, you need to do it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're our own
absolutely.
vet. And
Yeah.
if they're sick to the point where we think that they won't make it, well,
We get the vet involved.
Yeah.
Usually, sometimes
and
we do.
most
yeah.
times the vet will say just put it down because
Yeah, that's right. It's not worth the
it's
time.
not worth the time.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is a part of farming.
Yeah.
Livestock is dead stock.
That is true.
That's the way it
You
works.
got dead stock. If you got livestock, you got,
We got
dead,
dead
stock.
stock. Yeah.
So, and it's being able to take yourself out of that and get mindset saying that, yes, okay, it's not a human being, it's an
Yeah.
animal, but still, you still
You're
don't
handling
want
the
it to
animal
see
every
suffer.
day.
You
Yeah.
want it to be healthy. You want it to
Yeah.
work with.
Yeah. And I did work in healthcare before this, so I did have some knowledge with giving shots and
Yeah.
and all that. So
So that
a
helped.
little
you
bit of
then.
background,
Yeah.
yeah. And my mother-in-law is actually a nurse,
How
so
is-
anything I can't do, she can.
How is the availability for vaccinations and dewormings and stuff like that for sheep and goats here?
It's very hard to get. Like I said,
Got to go through the vet, and
Yeah.
they gotta have you in their system.
yes,
Yeah,
and
okay.
they gotta have you. They gotta visit once a year
Okay.
in order to administer any antibiotic or prescription medication.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, if we need penicillin, they gotta make a visit once a year.
So it's pretty close to like we are in Alberta then. We had to have a farm call first when we started to have your vet come, and then they
Yeah.
would do your check and make sure that you are doing the right
Yes.
things out there, and you know, and that you can't say nothing bad about that. That is a good
No.
thing.
That is a good
That
thing.
is a good thing.
Every
right?
year is all right to have every animal checked in.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. When you're breeding them and they're having babies, you want to make sure you're on top of stuff,
Yeah,
right? So
and there's stuff
Yeah.
that someone else can pick up on your animal that you're not picking up on.
that's right. Yeah.
You're seeing
Yeah.
them every day. You can't see the change.
Yeah, fresh set of eyes is always good.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We don't have any supply stores near us, so dewormer, like, there's no. I mean, just for supplies, like I got Jerry to bring me supplies from Alberta because it's hard for me to get here. You want just a dewormer. The closest dewormer is the vet
Yeah.
or 6-hour drive.
Yeah,
You
I
had to
know.
go straight to
It's-
St. John's.
It is
yeah.
tough, and like you know,
Yeah.
where I'm to in northern Alberta, you know, you got your vet close by. My vet's only like 20 minutes away,
Yeah.
so it's pretty quick to get there
Yeah.
if
Yes.
anything serious ever happened. But when it come to like buying like big box stuff for sheep, the only place we buy is at Lethbridge, which is actually it's a full day's drive. It's
Drive.
8 hours drive for me to get there.
Yeah.
So it'd be like you guys going to St.
St.
John's.
John's.
Yeah.
But there's lots of little places around close by that I can get my penicillins, your basic stuff for your sheep. You know
And-
what I
And
mean?
local farmers help out too.
100%. Yeah, they're great. You know,
Yeah.
there's
We
a
don't
lot of
have any
people
local
around.
farmers.
I've got a few friends right on my road that is farming sheep, and yeah, they're great help because
Yeah.
when you're away, if something happens, it's just a phone call away sometimes.
Yeah.
That is another struggle for us here because nobody else is educated on farm animals. And what we do know, we've learned ourselves.
Yeah.
We've YouTube videos, we've watched videos for years upon getting these animals and trying to know about them. Even talking to the vet, we had multiple phone calls with the vet just going over the animal's condition, what it needs, what it's supposed to look like for body score, all that stuff. But there is nobody here. So if anything were to happen, I'd have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'd have to figure it out.
You got to learn fast.
Learn fast.
Yeah,
You got to
that's
learn
right.
fast. And if you don't have the mindset or I'm going to say the education on any of your animals, you're
You're shit out of
you're
luck.
shit out of luck.
yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah,
It is.
and it's not like I can call the farmer down the road and say, "Hey, can you come see what's wrong?"
There
It's,
is none.
I gotta figure it out now.
Closest farmer is hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I mean?
Now
so
by Facebook message or a phone
Yeah.
call, like I can call anyone else
that's
if I
right.
wanted
Exactly.
to.
That's
but
the
there's-
great thing about these sites, right? You
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's no one physical. There's no one physically here.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So-
that's a bit of a hurdle.
It's hard for workers too because there's nobody here that's ever been hands-on with livestock, so they actually don't know.
No, that's right.
So it takes a long time to train someone to work for us, and then, you know, they could be here for a month or two and then decide it's not for them. So then we're a month or two training somebody else.
So for anyone you think like that would be interested into doing this homestead and off-grid kind of lifestyle, what kind of advice would you give them? What to starting out, thing to expect?
My biggest advice would be to start very small and grow accordingly. The cost of going big too fast will put you under.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to be very budget friendly. Very budget friendly.
Like what we're into right here is completely out of pocket. There's no
Yes.
payment to be made on this every month.
Yes. Do not go out and get thousands of dollars in loans.
I say the
Do
same
not
thing.
do that. Do not. Just do what you can out of your pocket.
That's right.
And
Take your
appreciate
time.
what you have and go from there.
Yeah.
It takes time, and I know I know you run out of patience because I do, because I want to go big. I see all these farms, I'm like, I want that.
Yeah. 100%.
But
That's right.
you have to go slow.
Yeah, no, that's great advice for
Yeah.
anyone. And that if I had to give advice, that'd be the same speech.
Yeah.
Because that's true. That's
Yeah.
very, very true.
And the markets are tricky. You don't know where it's going to be from one day to the next.
And the price of grain is
Yes.
fluctuates that much for us, especially, and it's so high, you can go under pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so where Gina and they live here, to get to a market where they actually sell a live animal at an auction is quite a ways away.
Yeah.
So they have to go through a 4-hour drive to the ferry, and then an overnight crossing, 6, 7, or 8 hours on the ferry, and then another 2.5 hours to get to the auction. Drive from there. So that's quite a trek, and
Yeah.
that's not a cheap trek. So you wouldn't be able to just take, say, if Gina wanted to sell 5 sheep here tomorrow,
Yeah.
it would not be feasible to even let
No.
that cross your mind to be able to do that. So it has to be local. It has to be local. You have to sell local.
Yeah.
It's the
And if
only
you can't sell
way.
local and you want some gone, you're shit off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're putting them in your own freezer.
Yeah, pretty
Right?
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We
So-
won't go hungry. One way or another. We
No,
won't
it's
go hungry.
well, that's another great thing. How
It
much
is.
does this save you in groceries
Yes.
in a run of a year? Quite a bit, right?
Oh, it will. And
Yes.
this year, this is another reason why we're actually going to get into vegetables this year.
Yep.
Why buy from the grocery store
Another-
when you can grow it?
Yes.
And a lot of people are always saying, about how expensive the grocery stores are and the cost of things are rising, but why not grow your own?
Get back to our roots, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
get back to your roots.
roots.
That's where you came from. And I know the towns have all these bylaws now here in Newfoundland where you're not allowed to have the farm animals. And I think that should change.
Yeah, I believe so
I
too.
think it should change because the way
There's
the world
a big
is
society
going.
shift now to small farms.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it is tough.
And
It's tough.
I'm trying to encourage everyone, support local, buy local. Local is the way to go. The grocery stores don't need your money. We do.
No, that's right. Exactly. And that's the whole point of it,
Yes.
isn't it?
And
Is-
I do I understand, local sometimes don't mean cheaper. Sometimes it means more. But it's because we're such a small firm. And to offset the cost, you do have to sell it for more.
Yeah. And another thing too that I realized in this whole life-changing thing that I did, the same as you guys, is trying to be open-minded. Not set your mind into one thing, like
Yeah.
sheep or just pigs or whatever. Open your mind into different ways. You said you make soaps and stuff out of the milk. That's multiple ways that you can make a few extra bucks for the farm, help feed the animals, whatever. Vegetables, another one. There's dozens of things that we do. We make creams and salves and all kinds of lip balms and stuff like that, all from the farm. So there's being open-minded is
Absolutely.
like if you set your mind into one
resourceful.
thing and then you don't make it on there, then you're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be
So there's
resourceful.
multiple ways to help support income when it comes to farming.
Yes, there is. You have to be open-minded. Yes, absolutely.
So
There's many ways to make money, But you're never paid for your time.
No, well, no, you gotta. you can't even talk about that, can you? Really?
We
That's a sore
actually,
spot.
Yeah.
it's not much here as a community where we're so small. I mean, there's no gymnastics. There's nothing here. I mean, soccer maybe and some hockey. So last year we did open up our farm for mobile petting. So we actually did take the goats and the rabbits
Yeah.
to birthday parties
Yeah.
and senior homes, and it did go well.
That's good.
It
That's
did, yeah.
good.
It did.
That's
So
pretty interesting.
we did,
actually,
yeah. We
To do
were,
that.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you take this. We got a big seniors home here in town,
Yeah.
right? How much do they get out to see things that they did when they were kids?
Oh, they
To
were.
talk to you guys, like
They
that
could
would be
not-
that. Some of those
Yeah.
people would really make their day.
They
Yeah.
could
So
not get
it's-
out
that's
fast
great to
enough.
be able
They
to
were
do that.
coming. They were coming, and I brought the kids in. I had baby goats at
Yeah.
the time, and they were jumping on their beds.
Yeah, that's
like
that'd
the
be
smiles.
something to see.
Oh, it was
The
nice.
older people always
So
gives
nice.
a good kick out of it.
They do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Goats.
They love it, and
Yeah,
it's
and-
something new to the town.
And it makes you feel good.
Oh, absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So if you're making someone else feel good, and those people are older people that did this back in the day and did it with their kids, and they get a little taste of that back again. So that's great to be able to do
Yeah.
that, opportunity to do that. You know?
Yes, and there's not anything here for therapy either. They do have, I think it's some kind of program for open doors, and you can go up at the hospital for mental health support or 811. But I mean,
Yeah.
not everybody wants to open
No,
up or talk
that's
to
right.
someone. So I was actually thinking about opening up my barn for therapy sessions.
Yeah.
And it would be therapy with the goats and therapy with the horse, and it would
Goat
be
yoga.
goat yoga. Yeah, that's a thing now too.
Yes.
And like we're gonna have 3 horses here, so whoever chooses a membership would get to choose their horse, and they would come in and have therapy sessions.
yeah.
It's just another way to make money.
Yeah, that's right.
Be resourceful,
Yeah.
use what you can, and also it might help someone.
Yeah.
Might help
Give back
someone
to the
more.
community is the biggest
Yes.
thing.
That's right.
Because
Yes.
communities want supporting you, so
Yes.
you give back to them
That's right.
where you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I believe. Yeah, that's great. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's happening here. So we'll take a little shot here and a little bit of the animals and that around. It looks like the babies are sleeping over there in the corner.
They're
So
milk drunk.
They're all milk drunk. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, isn't
Yeah.
it? They're milk drunk. I wish I was milk drunk. Not off the goat, don't get me wrong. But yeah,
Oh, the goat's milk is good.
goat's
so-
milk is good.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it is. Very, very rich.
Yeah.
It is, and it's good for people that's lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make some, that soap is great soap. That soap is great.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I'm gonna
you're
try
doing that.
cheese this year and butter. See
Yeah.
how that goes.
That's not bad, not hard to make.
No.
All that stuff is very easy to make, and I don't know why a lot more people don't do it.
I know
Because it's so easy
it
to
is
do.
very easy. The only thing is, I'm not allowed to sell the raw milk for
Well,
someone
no,
to make
that's
it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah,
Well, they got laws, right? So,
yeah.
but yeah, that's what's happening here. So, guys, if you want to check out Dylan and Gina online, they've got a YouTube channel on the go to as well. They're on Facebook. They're on all the social media sites out there. You look them up there at
Black Ridge Meadow Farm.
there you go, Black Ridge Meadow Farms. Go in there, follow them, hit that subscribe and like buttons, and leave some comments. Leave the comments in there, stuff you know that might work for them. You
Yes.
might have great ideas. These guys might have great ideas for you.
And if you
Might have a
have-
good idea for me. So let's keep that trend going and help each other. That's what this is all about. Moving
Yeah.
around, seeing people, enjoying other people's company that's doing the same as we're doing. So we're gonna sign off here. So take care of yourselves. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button there. Follow us for all the updated videos. Every Sunday and Wednesday should be new videos being posted. So keep in touch. Keep those emails coming. Thanks for watching.